Well, we did this effect in the previous session. Now we want to export it to create a video file and share it on social media. The first thing you have to do to get a render is to specify the rendering range. If you don't specify the rendering range, the time will be limited to the composition time, which is 1 minute here. There are two ways to specify the rendering range. We can make the length of the composition as much as the animation. Here are the seconds, 52 seconds. For example, you want this animation to continue for 4 seconds. Press Ctrl K and duration section. Here we enter the time 4 seconds, like this. Then click OK. Now all the timeline is 4 seconds. If you don't want to change your timeline and want it to be 1 minute, go to the second 4 and press N. As you see, it shortens your work area, which causes it to render in just 4 seconds, not 1 minute. Now you can export it from the File menu, Export. Then select the Add to Render Queue option. The Render Queue window opens, or you can go to the Composition menu and click on Add to Render Queue. I prefer the shortcut Ctrl M. Much easier. You can see that Comp 1 appears here. There are a few settings that I will explain to you. The first one, that you should always set it on the best settings. Here are the items. You don't need to know what are they and what they're gonna do. Always choose the best setting option. The next important option is high quality. With it, you can choose your video file format. There are different types of formats that you can choose, as an AVI, picture, or MP3. When your video has a sound, if you choose the MP3, it will render only the sound, not the videos. But common and good formats are QuickTime and AVI. We will continue with the QuickTime. You can see there are many options here, and we don't need to work with all of them. In the video output, I'll click on the format options. You'll see different types of codecs. Here set as well, like QuickTime and Movie, but it's on the animation by default. When selected, it will render the work with the highest quality and details, frame by frame, which also greatly increases the output size. I don't recommend using the render queue option at all, because it will increase the size so much. Also, we cannot see the MP4 option, which is a compressed format in the render queue section of After Effects. That's why we need to use a third-party program called Adobe Media Encoder. In the next session, I'm gonna tell you how you can get it rendered from Adobe Media Encoder. If I put it on the QuickTime and animation, it will have a very large size. Let me show you that. You have nothing to do with the other options. With resize, you can adjust the size of your work. You can crop it from top to bottom. This is the audio part, the sound settings, which we don't change its default settings. Well, we did these settings, and this one was created. The custom QuickTime. We can save it as a template, so next time for the rendering, we don't need to adjust the settings from the beginning. Instead, we choose from here. From here, make a new template. I name it Move Format. Then press OK. Its format has changed. You can also see it in this section. Next time we can use the settings we saved. Another option, which you can specify where you want to save your file. And you can change the name. I'll change it to the logo animation and locate it on the Drive C Pictures folder. Now the only thing that is left is to click on the render queue option and wait for rendering operation to start. It is done. The approximate time will be here. Of course, because the size of our animation was small, it is not shown here. To get to the file storage location, you can go to the file you sent, or click here and its folder opens. As you see, it is 4 seconds with a size of 29.8 megabytes. Like this. It is with the highest quality that you could render. You also can switch between render queue and composition windows. or even close them. Something else that I want to mention, you can have more than one composition and add them to the render queue. Well, suppose you made this and you want to add another composition. Hit Ctrl N, for example Comp2, with the same settings, and I choose the black color. Here we make an animation. Alt Shift P, and I move it there on the first second. So we want to export from this one too. Press Ctrl M, or from the composition menu, choose to add to render queue. Render queue window opens. You could delete Comp1 because we created before. Add Comp2 to the render queue. Select Move Format from this part and also its storage location. This option, if enabled, means it is in the render queue. Again, I add Comp1. See? When they are both selected, at first this one will be rendered, then the other one. That is, they are prioritized in the order which they were placed. As many compositions as we have, whichever I click on, we can see its layer and timeline. Whichever you don't want, you can click on it and press delete, or uncheck the box so it wouldn't be rendered. That was the settings for After Effects rendering option. Next session, I'll teach you how you can render from Adobe Media Encoder program. I suggest you install the program because it reduces the file size a lot. It has more formats and you have more control in the rendering process. Join me in the next video. I will see you there.